for auditing professionals, the challenge lies not only in keeping up, but in staying ahead to ensure measurable values creation for organizations. And usually what we have heard that the skills required to stay ahead or to stay in the game are cyber skills, quality management skills, digital skills, data analysis skills. However, Bhavani, I wanted to ask you is that why are we calling out human skills as future skills for auditors, and isn't audit supposed to be technical?
Thank you, Meg. Absolutely well framed. Absolutely, it's a technical subject, and the technical competency is like your foundation. It's the foundation of a house. It's absolutely necessary. You can't be a great auditor without it, but it's not enough. Okay, the world's evolving so fast. The dynamics of the corporate landscape, the introduction of technology, the fast-paced change of technology is making it such that what was done technically before as kind of the bread and butter of audit is being done now by machines, AI, and it should be, because efficiency is also part of the game. And therefore, the human skill comes in very much about the ability to engage human to human. Because at the end of the day, the recipient of your service as an auditor is another human. And we're entering a very fragile space for them. When we enter an audit, we are basically looking at for what's wrong, perhaps finding gaps, and it's not a very psychologically safe space for the other party as well. So I think definitely human skills is going to be the game changer, because those, there's a gentleman from Australia called Min Gyang who I follow diligently on LinkedIn, and he's a communications expert. And I think no one can say it better. He says you can be technically up here, and if your communication or your interpersonal skills is down here, then you're only as good as this, right? And I think that's true for any auditor. I think I've interviewed people, I've worked with people, and the ones that are struggling to influence, engage, make decisions, hold themselves accountable, these are all the human skills that are missing. It's not always technical. And the irony, of course, is the fact that the human skill is actually it's like a chain. So the technical skills are the foundation, but the human skills is actually also the foundation to be able to grow more technical skills. Because today, one of the things we see is people are struggling to embrace the newness of what's coming. There's a lot of inertia and overthinking and procrastination, and it's all because the mind hasn't been fine-tuned for a growth mindset, for fastness, for adaptability, and that's human. It's not technical. So that's kind of my position. And I think when I was working on the idea of the evolving auditor, the human skill is the bridge between what we know and the difference we make. And the difference we make, right? You can know a lot of things, and you can say a lot of things to your client and your company you work for, but the difference you make, that gap is plugged by your humanness.
That's
right. So that's kind of why I believe it's a non-negotiable hardcore tool of the future skills.
That's absolutely right.